except for Mirage for Badass Gaming, but every T-half has been won, numbers-wise. So, just throw that out there. Could be something in play, but heading into what's considered one of the more CT-sided maps of the bunch, we see what Overpass has in store until the knife round comes to a close, and maybe even a clutch in the mix. All right. Good old-fashioned knife round clutch. I'm down.
Yeah, you don't often see those anymore. You don't often see a knife round on broadcast anymore for these types of events either in general, I'll say. Maybe even at the higher levels, you don't get to see them all the time, at least in online play. Back when, God, is it blasphemous to even bring up his name? Back when Sadicus did, like, the Rap God knife round on Train? That's a highlight.
Missed the days.
Yeah.
Rip Train.
Rip Train.
That better come back.
Yeah, I agree. Well, into this one, no dualies, and that's something that I thank the Lord for because I'm tired of seeing them. Right now, it's going to be that full burst out to the B-bomb site. Classic steal, the big brain in-game leader, and I don't blame him for making such a genius strategy up in his head. CS2 already being innovated upon, as it looks like the Bad News Bears get the site for free.
Good stuff, but they're going to keep pushing it like they do, and the risk pays off. Gamble is rewarded with 3 opening picks. Nick X not done. I thought that was a goose, but he's going to run down with his knife out. No, I was going to say, come back down to earth, my boy. This round is not over. A 2-on-3 is not the most unwinnable of rounds to be put in, especially with Shane looking like this. Long flank in the mix. Umar cannot afford to fall. There is a kit in play, but it seems his hand has been overplayed. Snav toward the bomb he goes. One man holding, hoping the bullet fuse could be stuck, but he's gotten him off. Playing the timer to the perfect extent. Steel's already won the round. Take your time. It's the Bad News Bears to lose. Rather, their rounds to lose, I should say. His badass fall at the final hurdle.
Yeah, you talk about the features advantage, man. Dude, they were running across CT spawn, and the players weren't even able to drag their crosshairs far enough to tap away. They were confident enough in their aim that they weren't exactly spamming. They were tapping as slow as they possibly could, but the problem was they couldn't put their crosshairs out of their head far enough away. You saw that, didn't you?
I saw it.
That's a shame. You're just like, man, I can't move fast enough.
It's acceptance at this point, man. I'm going through the 5 stages of grief.
Talk about the T side right now. Bad News Bears, they might be able to walk away with an early lead like they had in that map of number 1, and if that's the case, that's just where they get the juices flowing, and that's not what you like to see from them if you're a Badass Gaming player or fan.
I mean, look at what momentum's got you. You've already got players just W keying into sight. Summy has literally run up bathroom, through fountain, through CT spawn, down connector, like a speed demon, and nobody stopped him. He falls in graffiti, like.
Nifty little Molly.
Does the heaven smoke not work anymore? Like the one you throw on the run that bounces off the wall? Or am I just bad? Alright. Uncalled for.
No, I mean, yeah, slam dunk. They're not going to go for the round. They're going to go for the exits more likely than not, but they're probably going to pop into the site at the late stages of it. They're going to get out of the bomb more likely than not if they don't. Still holding on, though.
At this point, you just want the SMGs to get cash, really. That's all you're playing for. And they keep going forward. Whoa, okay. Snav, I think that's like a little still taking fights as they both push him down. I wonder now, is the risk reward worth it? Maybe for an extra peek? No, doesn't even bother giving it a thought. But still, it's a nice start for the Bad News Bears. Though money is a little bit suspiciously low. Sonic will need a drop, and I think Nick X might drop him his Mac 10 or something of the sort. Not sure, but very vulnerable round for both sides alike. Oh, I don't know where he got that AK from, but
Yep. 5 AKs, 4 M4s, and 1 Mac. Obviously, not a whole lot of room to be going for any sort of an upgrade, though. Use what you've got. They might be able to put it to some good use if they can put it into a forward enough position to pop out. I think he's in front of Wood right now. Yeah, that's a pretty decent spot to have it. Close enough to where if a flashbang to go through from a CT-sided teammate might get a couple of players off guard for him to find some cash and maybe a couple of these dinks and damage in. It makes some good off of his life. But as it stands, water control gain, connector control the same, and soon topside A is going to look all the more, I'll say, appealing to the taking.
Especially with that smoke, but I don't even know if they're sending somebody to find that information. It's just a bait right now. They're keeping 2 players here, and it even feels like Shane's contemplating going up, but his gut tells him to stay, and so he does. It's the right option to make in hindsight, as Bad News Bears all group up outside the B site, and the only thing stopping them now is the waiting for their utility. Molly goes in, Sonic the Man throwing the majority of it, as the flash doesn't actually hit Project. Not blind yet, but finally gets taken off the board as they go straight in, and nobody stops them just yet. Nick's leading, but only for so long. Trades favor the bold and Badass Gaming, and the 2-on-2 has everybody swarming this B site, CTs included. The smoke goes in, Sonic, he's just looking for a plant, or maybe an off-guard CT, which he gets the flight on, but doesn't win it. Badass Gaming, they strike back early.
Such a scramble. You can see that the movement wasn't being controlled very well from almost everybody on the T side there to be able to rein themselves in before overextending. The new angles and the new different peaks you have to be aware of when you move farther out and wider as you lose body by body. It only becomes more a sticky situation with no smoke deployed towards heaven, no mid-site smoke, no bridge smoke by the time that it all fades. The players are already out and they're taking these duels with the entirety of the vision offered up to the CTs to take the duels as they please, and it favors them every day of the week to be able to walk away with not only that round, but this one soon to follow, because it's going to be a forfeit as they have all the money left in the bank to be able to follow up, and a nade onto only the toes of Steel.
What's surprising is we haven't seen either one of these teams really do much long just yet. It's been really basic. And I know we're only 4 rounds in, but I feel like by now you would have at least experimented. Maybe writing a little bit too much down on his clipboard there. Dare looking away for a second, gets him blindsided by Sonic. But Summy's too far away to exchange that AK-2. He's the only one with armor, and likely the one you want wielding this weapon. But Snav up close. Susceptible to a peek. No, aim punch gets him. And now it looks like this one should come down to earth, but maybe not. Nickx, he's not letting ends meet just yet as they continue to distract. Shane's caught in the open. One thing comes through from Summy, and we're down to a 2-on-2. Guns litter the site as the bomb goes down, and a 2-on-2 doesn't feel that bad, especially when you have post-plant avenues to take in bathroom.
X has that flashbang. You might be able to set up his teammate for a favorable fight. There it goes, up high, bow out and away now, and another one picked back up. He can't use it. He's got to take the duels. Transfer an unlikely round with Summy. Oh my lord, absolute stunner of a pull away with the AK. No armor on anybody else, no problem. He'll make good use of his.
Stand-in savior for Bad News Bears. Around they had no business even touching. They don't only get a bomb plant, but with 2 guns saved, they steal the round away. And I'm surprised. It felt like Badass Gaming didn't know somebody was a truck. I don't think they were flash. I thought they'd heard it maybe, but Tom came via carrier pigeon, and now Badass fall to the same fate BNB just had to suffer through. So, called it a forfeited round. Well, that's what it is for the CTs.
Here comes the conversion, the one Badass Gaming were unable to pull away with Bad News Bears. Much better opportunity for them to be able to do so with only 1 Deagle to worry about this time around, and a pair of dual Berettas, which should not be given the opportunity to get close enough of a duel to favor themselves in, as 5 players are stacked over towards this B-bomb site. That's where everybody hopes to catch the Bad News Bears players with their pants down. If they make their way into that side, they're going to be left with a rude awakening, but it doesn't seem like they're actually playing for that one. Instead, allowing their players to cook elsewhere around the map before fully committing into this area of the map. A wise call to make, and one that you're always want to make on a map like Overpass, as well as you explained before. The rotations aren't exactly crazy, but the one thing that does make this map more unique than any of the others is the verticality for the rotation up through connector that the CTs can abuse in the late to mid rounds themselves if they claim that space.
I'd like to see Badass change this defense around heading into the I know it seems a little out of nowhere, but it just feels like it's a little too basic, right? You've got 3B, 2A, they're not really contending for space in bathrooms, they're not really fighting for con, they're not really taking water. It kind of just feels like Badass are sitting back and letting Bad News Bears do what they want. And I mean, I think there's some merit to it in some rounds when you have utility to play with, maybe just outnumber what they can throw at you by just killing time. So when they come in, you can stop them from winning just on time alone. But it's very obvious that Bad News Bears are just sidestepping any possibility of losing to the timer or lack of utility. They're just going into sites, banging out, and winning almost every single time. I think Badass have to some extent, counteract that with aggression of their own. I think they have to take something this round. They can't just sit back on sites.
See what they opt to do with no Molotov for short water. It's Nate is heading out towards both the T-steps and the backsides of A. That is so much damage eaten on the fall away there. Both Dare and Snav eating it, but only one of them in the red right now. Short water control taken late. But what will that mean without a kill? Not a whole hell of a lot, because they've got to bow out and away almost immediately following, as they're afraid of both the player that could have been tucked into the short tunnel as well as the spam coming through the connector. Now they have a lot more to make up for on that top side of the map.
And alongside that, they used up so much of their utility on getting nothing. Watch out, because you're vulnerable. Snav, burst blood for Summy, and they hang on to the 4-on-5 like it's a death sentence for Badass. Rotation's coming through, but Summy's not slowing down. Up long he goes, taking names every step of the way. Finally shut down by Shane, but the site's theirs. Compromise is the hold, and Far wants to go even further forward. Spray off the mark. So Shane puts this back into a recoverable point. Bomb's down, though, so again, it'll be up to a retake, and hint, hint, there's no kits and a flank coming through. But Nick X is split apart. He's down B. Steel has to stay alive, and he does way more than just that. Both line up, and the round comes cascading with it. 5-1. The Bears, they show no fear.
They show their teeth is what they show, and right now they're certainly step above and beyond what Badass Gaming have put forth right this second. The AWP's absence could be the difference maker in the next gun round to come, but as of right now, it's not really working out as well as they would have hoped. That rifle that they hope to put up against Bad News Bears comes and falls flat immediately. As quick as they bought the guns, it feels like they leave their possession, and from then on, it's just going to be a desperate attempt with a bunch of deagles and body armor without any utility to be able to put a couple of kills on the board and some picks. But so far, not so good, but eventually Snav will make his name known, and inside a con now, he's got to kind of fall down and away. He's going to burn a lot of HP off of himself, but in the meantime, his teammates feel the need to pressure out. They've gotten through Monster Tunnel, they've gotten the kill. Wow, now look his way, sneaking. Hey, is going to be successful in being able to do so, as yet again, Summy claims a life of long.
I don't know, I hope you can agree with me on the point that I feel like Badass need to do more. Again, I'm just looking at these rounds piece by piece, and every time Bad News Bears are going A, they're just outnumbering them. Like, they're getting 1v1s, which is pretty standard when they have long control and bathrooms, and there's only 2 to defend. And by the time the rotations are coming through, site's already lost. Like, you see that last gun round, Shane comes through and gets 2 picks, but it doesn't do them anything because the round is pretty much already stolen. You've got Nick X creeping out B because they never took water control. You've got a con player going into bathrooms just so he can keep himself alive in case things go wrong. And you've got someone fighting CT. You have to make the Bears feel less free around the map. They're not scared to just send one solo up long. They're not scared to just have Summy try to work A by himself because they know push comes to shove, he loses that duel. They're still just going to execute into a site numbers up because they don't have info.
We need to stand up for this one, I think. Turn the mic a little bit.
Interesting.
Starting to heat up. Starting to get a little bit more intense as we go along the stretch of this game, and Bad News Bears only continuing to intensify in their own regard as the utility reigns over to short side. It's going to be taken by them. The late boost could be from Dr. Order from the CT side, and despite that, they are going to do that with gunfire on the other end, and Sonic even claiming a life in the opening seconds of the round. Now, instilling some confidence into Umar to run into the site himself, has dropped the player off the top of the wood in the backside of the site, and Frankie activates for a double of his own. Now back into it with a man advantage. He's brought it in.
Finally, something good to talk about for Badass Gaming. This hold comes up big, and Summy, in the meanwhile, while he's working A, his whole team gets picked apart the other end of the map. Only hoping for eco damage at this rate. A round feels far out of your memory. But who knows? We've seen a couple of interesting clutches this series. I wouldn't put it past him, especially when we saw Mirage. But this is a pretty nifty crossfire to try and get through. And yeah, Frankie puts it to an end. No shenanigans here. And finally, some more success for Badass Gaming. And look at how well it does for them. They finally switch it around. They take water control. They take some initiative. They go for the boost. They send Frankie in, and it works wonders.
No up for this T side has not been required of them. Overpass, one of those maps you can certainly get away with it. Dare, though, he has not gotten away with it in the slightest, as he has been pressured and pressed hard at every given point. At every turn, it seems that somebody is out on top of him, and every duel is favorable for him. Now, a boost over the top of the smoke at the front side of the U. Smoke that looked like it might have been fruitful for him is unfortunately not going to send anything his way. Instead, they send their way back into A and forfeiting yet again a ton of map control that can be taken claim by Bad News Bears to play with the route as they please.
Oh, steal! Flash out, sitting close, Project. Okay, he pulled his gun back out, I was gonna say. They both wisely fall away. It's a game of chicken that no one comes out the victor of, at least for now. Smoke on Monster, just off of timing. They're not gonna respect it this time around. Flashing, Project is blind. The kill still goes their way, through the smoke no less. Frankie, last to hold off the site. And 2 kills seems to have at least done a good enough job to keep them in this round. Shane continues to fight for the give it up to Sonic. No 1v3 this time round. It's something consistent for Badass.
Well, maybe not so torn away from this game after all, as we're seeing a lot more of that same CT success now that they're able to stand tall in the individual duels in stark comparison to what we had seen over on Mirage. It seems that when the heads-up duels come through, the one-on-one effectively, with no trade really available behind it, things get a little bit more manageable for them. Bad News Bears were more often than not, I feel like, being able to get those sites with their spacing, allowing them to go 1-and-1 back and forth before they have the site without a man disadvantage. But as they continue their way towards B, they've been less and less successful at being able to take it. And eventually, Steel stands his ground, makes his name heard at the bottom side of B. No longer crawl out inside of that smoke without any support to aid him. It looks like this is now a B-bomb site ready for the taking. Tech9 for Umar soon to be upgraded as well.
And again, they hold on to a numbers up. Summy up long. We haven't seen him go here too much, but still, every time he's done it, it's been a massive effect for Badass Gaming. This one could be a flip side, though, because Dare was never spotted in bathrooms, and eventually got to go through him. Oh my god, but he scoped in at the wrong spot. Nick X, good clearance, good coverage, and now the round should fall with it.
Yeah, Project 90 is out of there. Umar, Tech9 do an op, if he so pleases. Yeah, I mean, I would honestly even stick with an AK and carry that over into the rounds to come, because you know the CT side aren't too far off from being broke, and there are only a couple of rounds left in play, so they're going to be playing conservatively for the next, if not the fifth, because, of course, only 12 rounds and a half. What other options do you have, Anthran? That's going to be them being put into a box by this possibility of them being reset, and now this is where things start to heat up once again, as you mentioned. Summy, we haven't seen him over along every round, but I think it was at least 3 other rounds, and every single one of them, he's able to put one onto the board. He's able to get them that way into the site where they already found one through, and Dare going down, unfortunate, but even still, there's no way he could have predicted for them to swing from that side at that time. It was just the worst possible moment for it to happen after repositioning and reshifting.
Yeah, the round isn't really lost with Dare falling. It's more so lost all the way back when in water, where Steel finds that opening pick, and it just feels discoordinated. Again, I mean, they went for the aggression, and they're halfway there. They're so close, but you think about it, when you're taking water control with 2 players, you want somebody throwing flashes for you in case that happens. Think about it. Steel creeps through a smoke and finds a kill for free. Yes, it's traded, but it leaves this massive gap open that Nick X exploits. As soon as that kill comes in, you know he has to be keeping an eye on Stewart, so he just swings out, takes the free frag, water control alongside it, and everything's fine. Now it's aggression elsewhere as Dare walks up long on the op. A successful opening duel as he falls away victoriously in the bathroom. That's not the end of the round there. Nick X, a chance to equalize one not seized as they hold on to the 5-on-3.
Spread. Familiar scenes as they take their challenge towards long side. Nobody there to be able to contest with them just yet, but eventually the line of sights will be taken upon by Dare interchangeably between the site, just making sure that nothing funny is going on in that direction. But he might not go wide enough, actually pulling him swing all the way back to the dumpster. This might offer them a post plant without even having to get a kill. And while that might not be too enticing, considering the fact that there'll be 2 men down at that point, and time that actually occurs, it's going to become a problem once the rotations come back up, which they already seemingly have. There's the A1S linking its way up and in. Now, 2 players scouting out the bottom of the B site, allowing maybe even for a third rotation to come up and through, and that does seem to be the case. Time is ticking, and they've got some decisions to make and some heads to click.
Feels like they've already made that decision, though, now that we look at it. Smoke up long, or was that a flash? No, it was a smoke. I'm not sure what for. It kind of missed the mark, I believe. Or maybe not. No, I missaw at the initial point. They will end up going into A with 3 here to defend off of Derek. He'll need to come through lightning fast. They won't even get a single one, not scratch the surface. The hold is good with 18 seconds to go. I won't even say the time was their worst enemy. It's just that slow start that caught up to them.
The greatest of looks to finish out the half of your Bad News Bears, but to be completely honest with you, 7 rounds on the T side and this new MR12 system on Overpass is certainly going to be pretty solid. That's about as like a 9-6 will look, I feel like, from CS, so.
I can see it.
CSGO, excuse me.
Oh. Also, I don't know if you've caught it, but Umar's been throwing some sick util from this spot. Look at him right now. He's throwing a molly. And it's going to land a divider.
Divider, yeah, you can hit some pretty banger molly. You can throw the same one from that same position, obviously, but I think it's just a little bit more impressive to see it in the reversal, like you're saying. You're right.
It's so sick.
Didn't you teach him that?
No. I can't even pretend to take credit for it.
Oh,
no way, snap! Dude, he was holding that smoke for like 30 seconds. The second he looks away, Sonic takes the opportunity and runs with it.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, and he gets Dare on it too! The only one left in A is Shane. At least he's here this time around, but he'll be all there is to answer for.
The absolute gall on this guy to go for those duels, let alone win them, and he does maybe get a little overzealous under the 30, still open things up wide enough to where the second guessing is going to be astronomical from the Badass Gaming team, leaving them into a B-bomb cycle for only 1 man, albeit 1 man who's been ever consistent in being able to hold it down. It's Frankie with yet another multi-kill. Come to his bomb site and you'll find out, as now, split 1-1. The A site does look like they want to finish that one up there, as there's somebody lurked around and through. It's going to be the duel between Summy and Shane that effectively determines pace of the round, and only Shane left standing, made known over to that area. Now, snuffed out with damage exchanged. It's the clutch for Nick X as he tosses. I thought he threw his own, but no, he switched guns, switched from the bomb to the C4. Now tapping on down, going for the full stick. It's Shane who's opted to go in for the full-on fight, and he'll get clothesline and pinned to the ground. The final bullet, putting the final round into the place for the half, as it's a double round count lead for the Bad News Bears going into the second. Woo! So now what? What's next? Anthony?
I'm here.
I missed you.
I miss you too.
You don't mean that.
I do. No one else would rather be here with.
What? You mean that?
Mwah.
Well, now we gotta sit back down. Anyway.
Is there no break screen?
No.
Oh.
We're just hanging around, hanging out, getting ready in the full mental reset for the final half of this best of 3 to come underway, as it has been an absolute barn burner from top to bottom, albeit one was a stomp, one a beginning of a stomp and then a little bit of a comeback, but even still I'll call it a stomp, and now we move into this one, and it is a little bit more competitive than the both of the previous maps. There's still a lot more to be seen, Anthony, and I'm excited to see how it unfolds.
I have no guesses. I mean, we've got good incentivization for both. It was the T side on Vertigo for Badass Gaming that got them this far, so who's to hold them out of this one? I mean, it still all depends. There's good arguments to be made for both sides. And that feels like it shouldn't be the case. Again, with how this series shifted and shaped, I'm just shocked to say that a score like this, yeah, this is fine.
You think this is funny? You think this is a joke? This is 2 teammates' games on the line right now, and you're joking.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm taking this seriously, so I expect you to do, okay? You're getting paid, dang it.
Yes, sir.
All right. I thought we're on the same page. Shane has been lighting it up, and I haven't even really noticed. I thought Frankie would have been the one that I would have made note of, but Shane's definitely been doing it to him, 14-8. Top of the scoreboard for his team and the server, no less, despite being 4 rounds down.
The stand-in.
Or maybe not.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Well,
What's next? You decide. I miss the old school YouTube videos. ERB. Oh, man.
Smosh is back.
Smosh is back.
Smosh is back.
But ERB went hard.
Yeah, it really did. I was watching a video the other day. It was like community voted best or rap winning, or I'm sorry, battle winning lines of each of the videos. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I miss it.
I miss it all, man.
I miss it all, man.
Why can't I not remember the song?
Which one?
Man. What? It's the ultimate something, I think.
What was it about?
It's like a big battle royale.
Oh, no idea what you're talking about.
You don't?
No.
Mr. Rogers in a bloodstained sweater came out the winner. The ultimate showdown. That's what it is.
The ultimate showdown.
Yes, yes, correct. That's what this is now.
Will survive. Oh my lord. Well, only one will survive in this map at the very least, and in this series. And so far, coming out on top, it feels our bad news bears more often than not, as this round is not going to be any exception. Already down to one player. Project 90. Well, let's start with 4, because that's what he's got to go up against at this point in time, and he's only going to be able to collapse upon the first. It's going to be a round win. The bad news bears are in it.
That's a big pistol to drop. I know I said it's close and this is doable, but without a pistol, that makes this so much harder to navigate as Badass Gaming. A big gamble needs to be taken. Do you save? Do you buy? There's an ultimatum to it. And again, we just see somebody on the XM10. Dude, this is a map where you will tear through people. In fact, I'm hoping, can we see somebody this round? I really want to see what this XM does. Summy cam? Anybody down? Where's he going with that bad boy? In water? Oh, nobody's going towards him. Cowards, I tell you. But it's the right move to make. Because I feel like at close range, you just have a chance against that gun. But you will against an M4 at long range with a deagle in your hands, especially if you're Shane. But not this round. No dice. They roll it. It is snake eyes as everyone falls piece by piece. It's not a round worth discussing running up cons. Summy's even feeling himself with the XM. Oh, only the one. Trades go back and forth, and Frankie's doing work. Don't give him this fight!
No.
Salute Umar. Hold on. There's a flank in the work, but I don't think he'll expect this. Right turns around. He does! Oh my god!
What is
Nick
happening?
X 2 milliseconds away from having him with his back turned. Frankie, where do you look? This is an insane off angle, and Steel isn't giving it.
You can't give this away if you're Steel right now. You have to have balls of steel. Unironically, no pun intended, he needs to. If he lets this one go, if he second guesses himself for even a split second, this becomes a nightmare scenario. Make sure you're holding your line, holding your info, and if he plants the bomb on B, so be it. If he circumnavigates you towards A, so be it. And he holds the line for just long enough for Frankie to walk into him. A great read and a great round to win on double digits. What an effort from Frankie with 4.
That is insane that it gets that far. I mean, coming into this round, I thought the risk was more lying in the fact that if you give the eco over, then BNB get an eco building round, and you're going into a really, really good buy with extra behind it. But, I mean, you've set yourselves up nicely, and whilst that was still a force, an eco here doing damage would keep the same precedent true. So, that's ultimately a W. It hurts for Badass, you can take that. That's okay. This isn't 45 damage off rip, and even hearing him run up short. I thought that nade was going straight on his head, but Dare lives to tell the tale of another day. Summy may even fall victim to it. Nobody's like they're gonna clear out the sandbags, but Nick X flips over in time, and it seems the reactions are sublime. Good stuff from him. But it's not enough just yet. Umar alone at B on an MP5 can't land it onto Frankie. And now again, we're running back the torments of the previous. This time, though, with them in the driver's seat. Steel switches to the sidearm as he runs down Shane in short. And this round should be all under wraps. The BNB have gotten back on top of things. And whilst, yes, it was scary, it's still a round they can walk away with.
That's one way to get it done, I guess. Definitely making it happen at the end there is Steel, despite not having any ammo left in the A1S. He'll make it work with the P2K, not a weapon that I often see people get kills with, let alone on gun rounds, but all right.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. I had a point to make and I forgot it, so never mind.
Yeah, go on. Think about it. Think long and hard.
Back.
Oh, hate when that happens. Oh, well, I hate when that happens too. Weird clipping. That nade gets caught on the bush, and Sonic no dice when it comes to damage, but can't say the same for Steel, as he puts Snav down to warning numbers in connector without even seeing him. Almost puts it to a 5-on-4, and whilst Bad News Bears have given a lot of space away, they're okay with that for now. With the amount of utility they've wasted, with the damage they've done, and with the precedent they've set, Badass, they kind of feel scared to move forward in any angle but long. But even this is being held, and Steel's walking back in. He and Sonic, they've got the right idea, and that Flash is going to tell them they're spot on.
Flash Sonic in, Flash Steel in, excuse me, right now. He's pulled it. Oh my lord, if Sonic can get this off the right timing, Steel's going to have a massive attempted around on his hand. Blinded is one, the other not so much is Dare. Eventually able to swing back in for the headshot, and Sonic can do nothing about it, but still, 2 players towards A, 2 towards B, it's split. But even still, they might be able to find a multi-frag, seeing the HP that Snav was on from earlier in the round. This could be everything on the back of 2 men. Scaling into the toilets right now, trying to get forward positioning, and that might be with the Dr. Water. They might catch the player in the back off first and foremost, but not quite. Frankie is 2 on point.
But they may not know about a third person at A. That flash came from Sonic. Whilst there wasn't an assist, they may know that, or they may expect the site to be open. Third in bathrooms. Doesn't seem too wary of it just yet. Instead, going trying to sidestep them as the bomb runs them down. It's a little bit of extra time, but keep your eye on it, because with 26 seconds to go, Umar drops the right guy, and the round could be theirs. Oh, this kill is everything. Project holds it down, and Nick X almost didn't have to move, but eventually he makes his, and it's the wrong one. 4 up for Badass Gaming, and a good showing on the T side. Good awareness, too, from that play out long. You said it yourself. That could be the round-deciding fight. So the fact that Badass were ready for it to come through just goes to show what kind of team they are.
Like questionable that Steel goes for the fight on the player to the hard left as opposed to the player fully blinded to the right that he spotted first. I feel like it's just kind of him going out of his way to be unable to find a multi-frag. But I don't know. Not really a whole lot to say other than that, to be completely honest with you. A pretty interesting macro decision making for him, but
this is what I was talking about, though. Look at the past 2 rounds for Bad News Bears. They've all been close. Even when they were on anti-ecos, they kept 2 alive at most. So the dam bursts open when they win that round. The floods are ruining everything. Bad News Bears have nothing. So we get to kind of see a run back of what they tried to attempt on Vertigo, where Badass get rounds 2 for the price of 1. They're down by 6, but if you use that logic, you've got 3 gun rounds to win after this. And then you take the lead, because Eureka's here. That doesn't seem too unrealistic.
no, not that unrealistic, but all depends on how this next gun round goes down with the ability to purchase an AWP in their back pocket.
True. I feel like we haven't seen many ops at all this
No, this series I feel like has been kind of dry on the op. Maybe not in terms of purchasing it, but in terms of the amount of impact that it's had, it's really just been the riflers on both Umar and Dare, I'll say. I think that's actually a pun that I didn't mean to make, but
yeah, Dare had like what, 22 kills, 10 on Vertigo?
More, I think.
And he was on the no, they won that map, duh.
They
but
did. Umar was probably the most
being on an op.
Umar was probably the most loud with the AWP, and that was over on Mirage. That's where we saw him get most of his picks on the CT side, a couple of those T side posts. When they got the bomb site into the post plant, he was able to find a couple of multi-kills here and there. So I guess out of the 2 of them, it would probably favor Umar on the CT side to be able to say, hey, you might be able to make the difference.
It could also just be a testament. Again, I mean, we've seen, or we discussed rather, all the theory crafting about how the op is just kind of worse right now because of, you know, the movement penalty, and then alongside that, the insane peeker's advantage. I wonder if that's kind of factoring into it, right? You go to the buy menu on some of these rounds where, yeah, you can afford an op, but you could also keep that extra like $2 grand for a future round.
Yeah, to be completely honest with you, I mean, you know me as a player somewhat. I like to op. I think it's probably one of the things that I'm better at in this game. I currently played on my collegiate roster in the most recent times. I felt really good with the AWP on the new setup I was playing with. Now I switch into this game, it's night and day to me. I almost don't.
Oh yeah.
Not even almost. I don't find it enjoyable to op anymore. I pick up the gun, and it's more of a burden than it is something that I'm looking forward to doing, where I'm saving my money and saying, this is the goal that I have. It's more so I'm saving the money and being like, well, I hope this works.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I kind of feel the same way.
Kind of
But
sad.
I can't believe you just admitted to op crutching live on broadcast.
I don't op crutch.
Crazy. Okay, bud.
I'm just better at opping than everyone else, so why would I not do it?
Okay, Homelander, calm down.
I'm the statistical highest rated AWP player in all of my collegiate division.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
We do see an op. We see an op on Umar. Again, quiet this game. Maybe that's what he needs to turn up a little bit. But honestly, it doesn't seem to be much a requirement. You've had everybody else picking up the slack, so if he comes alive, it might just be curtains for Badass.
Might is a strong word that
Might.
we're going to keep in our back pocket for the remainder of this round
But look at
already,
this.
is they have short water control.
The aggression is so much better from Bad News Bears. They use flashes, they set someone up on the boost to support him, so Nick X doesn't have to worry about his back and has an advantageous fight.
The nade chases Steel like a homing missile. That's crazy. It's heat-seeking as it does find his body eventually, but so does the native response, and so does the wide swing. Summy thought he had a little bit more under the plate there, but there's the flash. There's Steel. There's now at the backside of the wooden wall, but a man advantage. They don't really have to go too far away into this one. They can cool their jets. Still have short water, a smoke even to the tunnel. And now there's going to be a lot of second guessing for the side of Badass Gaming because they don't know what's been afforded to the side of B&B right now. They don't know how much aggression they've taken towards the top side of A, knowing that there were players over on this side of the map in kind.
It's crazy that they've left Umar alone at A. I mean, this is just confidence, or at least showing trust in their teammates.
Love this
Wanting to be, it's a perfect hold. Nick X, 1.5 as he finds his second of the round, but it's lured them back to the other side of the map. Umar, let's go with the angle, though. Dares to walk in, Ops holding. And
Nice.
That's just a shot too easy to miss on 13 health. Project, 18 seconds? Yeah, right. Moving back up, all you got to do is stay alive, let alone get the kill. As soon as he taps that bomb, sticking it or not, it is a free kill for Bad News Bears. No comeback in store, at least yet, as they go up by 6 rounds. Map match and series point for the Bad News Bears to take their first series of ECL.
It's such a small thing, but think about it from the perspective of somebody who's been playing this game for a long time. Speaking directly to chat on this one, that angle on where Nick X was playing from at short B on the little elevated angle behind the sandbags, that wasn't there in CSGO. That little nuanced edit is just so ingrained in the heads of players at this level that they're not aiming there. They're not normally going to be putting their crosshair as elevated as they normally should. It's going to take some time to get used to, but players who can use that early, players that can abuse little changes like that are going to come out on top of not only those duels, but a lot of the games and a lot of the matches as well.
And it's proved effective here. Nick X has had a massive impact this series on Mirage and Overpass alike. I feel like he went a little quiet on Vertigo, but he was still there. Still had good. Oh, don't tell me he does it again. He saw above that smoke. Did Shane catch him?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, but Shane's gonna wide swing. Yeah, he does end up seeing him. Health too low to really fight for that one, but I like the audacity as another smoke comes right there where they left it. And they're still going down B. There's 2 players here. The defense is well stacked up, including the op of Umar again, who's been quiet this game, but now he's taking time to show up. Barrel spotted. Snav won't let you get away with that one, and now Summy tries to pick it up, but too close for comfort. They take the site without any questions asked, and Sonic is probably just packing this one in.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. Saving towards top side A now. Nothing left for him. He's just going to have to hope into this next round that, I mean, I don't think they have any loss bonus to speak with, so maybe an upset to be played around the AK-47. They have a buffer in the round count to where, to be completely honest with you, I think that in a certain world I would call for us to force around the AK.
It all depends on what you're trying to
They're
go
going to be
for,
on.
right?
They're going to be on double save. Let's force. Yeah, actually, yeah, totally. Let's force. I'm 100%.
Sonic could drop a gun. Yeah. And we've seen Summy operate with lesser weaponry. I mean, the whole series of highlighting bringing out the extra terrorists.
I'd like to see them go for a hyper-aggressive long play set up by a flashbang with the 2 rifles they're gonna have. Or Sonic just saves for Umar's AWP and drops like an MP9.
Yeah, I feel like they could save here. They could, in theory, save here.
Yeah,
But they're not going to.
So I don't think they'll. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, let's see it. I really want to see a long play. I really want to see it. It looks like they've separated from one another, though, and instead they're going to be bodying up 3 players towards the top side of the side of the map. No, it's a con stack. That's also pretty good. Oh, a crunch. That could be what the doctor ordered. Here it is. Boosted over the top. Molotov needs to be extinguished, but not quite.
That smoke's gonna kill them. They even missed the molly. Con control is theirs. The only thing that smoke helps them in for now is the lucky fact of Badass going up A. So they can't split con from inside and fountain. They get away, but they probably shouldn't have. But Sonic's recommitment only gets them killed. The 1-for-1 trade might be okay in this round. I think Summy can get his hands on it, but he's gotta take a slight risk.
Where'd it go?
Where'd it go? What?
Guys?
Well, at least they've got 2 guns on B.
Oh,
Frankie isn't hiding that he's already out. Perfect deep from Steel. MP9 effective. Extra money, too, in case they need it in the future rounds, but that's if they can get there. A 4-on-3 is huge in a round like this. Down goes Nick, and in comes Steel. Another kill inside of the smoke is finally he falls, but guns are recovered. This is a 2-on-2. They're quickly coming down Con, and while they won't deny the plant, they may be closer than anticipated.
They have that one, that one flashbang could set them on. I'm really excited to see how it works because they're both at the same angle and they're both pretty wide. There it goes. Blinded and back to monster they go. Not ready for the player's second up in that area. I can't assume as he is close, not able to be closed down onto the transition from Umar. It was a nice attempt, but even still, 4 rounds the gap and a buyback not afforded to the Bad News Bears. Once more, they're going to take a save.
Close but no cigar. And you only wonder for just a moment, maybe if they found that AK earlier on Umar, or not on Umar, on Summy, what this round really looks like. I'd bet my bottom dollar that if he finds that AK, it's going to be vastly more aggressive for Bad News Bears. Maybe he goes into connector, tries to find his own pick, instantly rotates to B through CT, and is there quicker to help the defense. Regardless of what you thought it would have been, I am very confident Bad News Bears win that round if they get the AK sooner. It's unfortunate how it goes. In Badass Gaming, it's sweat wiped off their brows. They can decrease this gap to 3 against only pistols, and Steel can get the HE off. No water control do you good here. So, pistols almost aimlessly swinging into rifles. A tale as old as time, you know how it goes. A tale as old as time. I was hoping you'd pick that up.
Thinking of what you were laying down. Sonic, nice little shot there. I might get an AK to beat frag. And oh my god! Sonic is nasty with it. I played a couple of games with Sonic in this so far, and he's a dog. We went undefeated on the day. We were like 5-0, I think. Shout out to you, Sonic. Please carry me more.
All right, man. Come on.
Somebody's...
Come on. You don't gotta be kissing up like that.
It ain't gonna be you.
But he is looking pretty good here.
Bagging. He's top of the charts for his team.
But this game ain't over just yet. Taken down 3 players here. Did the nade miss again? No, it didn't. But
no, it didn't.
It didn't get him very far. Sonic. Man, we just spoke of a neat little off angle on the bench, and Dara may test this. Thrown in. No, instead he's got a knife out, only damage, but it's info. Very big info nonetheless. They know this is coming up A, but nobody's rotating in just yet.
This is like, I really like the way that the CT's played out this round, and I think this might be playing right into their hands. Because honestly, as Badass Gaming, I would probably rotate back to Monster spawn. Umar a little bit lucky to get away with just 1 there, to be completely honest with you, under the low HP player. But now they know that the jig is up. They know that they're heading towards long, and there's damage already exchanged, and the majority of it is in the way of the T side.
Still outnumbered by a vast majority. So if Badass were to go in right now, success is up in the air. And I wonder if Sonic is going to get a little uncomfortable with the silence and go forward. We see him do it a couple of times now, but sitting at the front of bathrooms, it is a massive choke point to try and hang on to. He and Steel have to have the crossfire of a lifetime, and whilst they have rerouted, it hasn't been to be. They're still going to A through bathrooms instead. Time running a little lower than I would have expected, but eventually all hell's gonna break loose and we get the ultimate tested aside. Molly's come up from short. Steel for a second was leaving, but it was the wrong call to make it. The spin back around Sonic's only good for the one. Steel has to do it all from Dice. 20 seconds and 2 kills may have just taken the game for them. The IGL, the legend, stepping up and giving the series to Bad News Bears. There's just not enough time to fight back. Thank him for the win. Bad News Bears finally get a series.
Yeah, that was one of Steel's better performances. That was one of the better team's performances overall. One of the better performances from the stand-ins. Maybe CS2, the switch might be actually working in their favor, because that one looked head and shoulders above beyond what we had seen in previous games from them. Umar not even having to come online that match at the AWP, 8 and 18, but no real problems. 4 rounds the gap